Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first Facebook Live for Outsource for Success. It is just before the hour, so I will just use a little bit of time, and hopefully this will pop up for some people and they'll be able to jump in live and I can answer any questions, make any comments. If you are here live, make sure that you comment down below so that I know that you are here. If you watch the replay, comment replay down below so I know that you have seen it. If you jump into this from our website or YouTube, make sure that you leave a comment or get in touch with me if you are wanting any more information. I'm super, super excited that this is our first official quick live training for Outsource for Success. This is all about the 5 mindsets that you need to outsource for success. Now, when you think about outsourcing, I can guarantee that mindset is probably not the first thing that you think of. You are probably thinking about things like briefs, hiring VAs, going onshore, offshore, project management tools, all those kinds of things. You are quite possibly not really thinking about what I think is the foundation to successful outsourcing, and that is the mindset that you bring into the situation. So I wanted to talk today and over the next 5 days, we're going to talk each day about a specific mindset that you need in order to be successful when you are outsourcing. Now, today's mindset is kind of the fundamental. It's the absolute foundation, but it's often the one that people struggle with the most. It can make them quite uncomfortable. And in my chats over the last few weeks and months with people about outsourcing, this is often a real sticking point in people's brains. So I just want to elaborate on what I mean about the idea of responsibility. So what I'm going to suggest to you basically is that you have to be 100% responsible for the entire process of outsourcing. And you also have to be 100% responsible for the outcome. Now, sometimes this is the bit where people really struggle. And people will say to me, well, how can I be 100% responsible for the outcome when I'm not producing the work? Well, let me tell you how you can be 100% responsible. What I mean is that you are responsible for the brief. You are responsible for who you hire. You are responsible for how you manage them. You are responsible for how you manage your own expectations. So in the end, if you don't get work that lives up to the expectation that you had for a particular task, then somewhere along the way, we've got that kind of Swiss cheese model happening. We've basically got holes in the different parts of outsourcing that have led to a breakdown and a task that isn't completed to your expectations. But what I would suggest to you is that every piece of that cheese is your responsibility. You're the person that hires the person. You're the person that checks their credentials. You're the person that tests if they're able to do the task. You're the person who creates a watertight brief for the task that you want them to do. You're the person who creates the milestones to make sure that they're moving towards creating that whatever task that is that you've asked them to create. You are also the person that is managing what is going on. Now, I don't mean that to sound like it's a whole lot of work and in the end it would be easier to just do the task yourself. But what I want you to understand is that outsourcing, particularly an initial task with any person that you're outsourcing to, is going to require a certain level of instruction and management. Doing that instruction and management means that you're much more likely to get your expectations fulfilled. And if that's a task that you're doing over and over and over again, then every time that that person performs that task for you, they will require less and less management and instruction, and eventually that task will simply get done by somebody else. You won't really even have to look at it unless for some reason you want to, and it will be something that will be completely removed from your massive to-do list. But you being responsible for every step of the way and you being responsible for the outcome that you get is fundamental to making sure that outsourcing is actually successful. So we've talked about being responsible yourself. and obviously being responsible for your team. But the final thing that you are responsible for is making sure that you have expectations that are realistic, and also that the meaning that you attach to everything that you're doing in your business is actually the meaning that serves you, or the meaning that's actually correct. And I want to just delve into that a little bit for a second. Basically, everything that happens in your business, successes that happen, failures that happen, everything that happens takes on a meaning for you. So if you're launching a new product and the launch doesn't go as well as you wanted it to, what do you think about that launch? Do you think that that launch is a failure? And if you think that launch is a failure, then do you then go on to make assumptions about the product being a failure, the email sequence being a failure, the webinar being a failure, you being a failure? What you do is you attach meaning to everything that happens in your business. So if you outsource a task and what you get back doesn't live up to your expectations, what does that actually mean to you? Because you're ultimately responsible for the meaning that you create. Does it mean that that VA is no good? Probably not. Does it mean that your brief is possibly not as watertight as it needs to be? Quite possibly. Does it mean that the person that you chose for that task might not have been well aligned with that task? Also possible. Does it mean that there weren't enough check-ins and milestones, enough questions asked and answered? Also quite possible. Does it mean that outsourcing can never be successful? It's always a total failure and you should do everything yourself? I don't think so. If you ran a restaurant, you would absolutely not expect to be the front of house, the wait staff, the chef, the sous chef, the dessert chef, the pastry chef, the wine buyer, the cleaner, and everything else. You would outsource those tasks and create a team of people who are specialists in doing each of those things. We need to think of our small businesses in that exact same way. You are not going to be a master copywriter, a master video producer, a master podcast designer, a master of everything that needs to be done to keep your business going. Eventually, the story is going to break the camel's back and you are going to have to offload tasks from your business to other people. You can be successful offloading those tasks and outsourcing those tasks by just having a few simple pieces of the puzzle in place to make sure that you get work that lives up to your expectations and that you have team members that are happy and focused and doing what you need them to be doing. And the first big step to that is having a mindset of ultimate responsibility, which is what we've talked about today. Over the next 4 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and next Monday, we're going to go through and talk about 4 more mindsets that are crucial to outsourcing for success. We are going to talk about service. We are going to talk about self-integrity. We're going to talk about kindness, which might seem like a little bit of an odd one, but bear with me. Friday, we will be talking about kindness. And then finally, on Monday, we're going to talk about courage and facing fear. They are the 5 mindsets you need to outsource for success. I hope that that information has been helpful. If you would like the opportunity to talk with me one-on-one and have a free clarity call about outsourcing for your business, make sure that you click the book now button or the link that is with this video. And I would love to chat to you about how you can create a vision for the next 6 months of your business. Work out where the holes are in that vision, what's holding you back from being able to create what you want to create, and get you super excited about the things that you can be doing now to make that vision come to life. I will talk to you guys tomorrow again at 1 o'clock. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great afternoon. Bye.